Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Here I am, completely selling out my sunglasses, making a video here in the California sun with the window up. It's freaking hot, and it's December. This is the last Rockstar I got left. You guys know how much I love the Rockstar. I got off of these for a while, but now we're back into them, so got to make this one count. Boom! Love that sound. Last night, I think I did what just about everybody else did. I kicked back, watched the CM Punk. Or I guess I didn't watch it. I guess I listened to it. I honestly felt a little bit funny, seeing how this is probably the second time in a week I've found myself just sitting, listening to a podcast. Not having the television on and just focusing on what I'm doing. I wasn't doing any other work. I wasn't, paying the bills. I wasn't balancing the budget or anything like that. I wasn't talking to friends. I just was sitting there listening to these two guys have a conversation. Now, the first one seemed to be very controversial, very newsworthy. Lots of people go into the dirt sheets and pulling out stories. I really think that this one was just more of a laid-back conversation, went back to sort of the basis of what the art of wrestling is based on. The podcast that I've been listening to for, I think I've been on it for 3 years. I think it's been going for 4. I would love to say that I've been there since day number 1, but it took me a while to get on board. And then I went back and listened to all the classic interviews. I find myself listening to the art of wrestling a little bit less and less, but Colt does surprise us by pulling out big names every once in a while. I think we all knew the CM Punk one was coming, but last week it was like a drum roll of anticipation when people started tweeting out saying that the podcast had gone up. You can go over to coltcabana.com and you can download it, or you could go over to iTunes and check it out there. It seems that basically the basis of what Colt had sort of been saving his podcast to crashed due to the CM Punk thing. Now it sounds like he's gone over to another podcast service. I woke up yesterday and I didn't have any room on my computer, and I didn't know why. Normally on my computer, it's normally mostly full. I have about 20 gigs of space that's normally open, and it completely filled up, and I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know what had downloaded, and it turned out that when he switched over, iTunes, I guess, thought that I wanted every single episode of Art of Wrestling that had ever happened, and I had to delete over 100 episodes of Art of Wrestling that downloaded the night before, and it was kind of tricky because I was having to make sure I deleted the right one, because there's a lot of files that I had started to listen to, and I didn't want to have to start all the way over, even though I haven't listened to him in months. But I really liked the podcast last night. I think that he did divulge a few more sort of things that were sort of newsworthy, but for the most part, it was just sort of a kick back, sit down, cool down. I don't think Colt Cabana sort of wants to have a shoot interview basis interview on his show. I think he likes just, kicking back, and it's supposed to be a conversation between two guys in the locker room. Just talking about where they've been and where they're going, and what their dreams were. I really like the shows when he has the legends on, and he talks about the guys that he was growing up, and he just flat out asks the guys questions about their past that maybe he just wants to know more about from when he actually was a fan before he actually became a wrestler. I liked the story about CM Punk going to, I can't remember if it was CBS or Walgreens, but one of those drugstores, and he said it just basically turned into a photo op with everybody who worked there. Honestly, from listening to the second CM Punk interview, I can tell that I think CM Punk is happier in his life right now. I think that he's given everybody a pretty easy basis on what it's like if you want to meet CM Punk and you're out in public and you run into the guy, what to do and what not to do. I've always thought of him as one of the most unapproachable guys there is in wrestling. He wants human interaction. He doesn't want just fandemonium, just yelling and screaming and demanding. It's please and thank yous and everything like that. They didn't do any of the question and answers from the email that they thought they would do from the last podcast, from the basis of basically just like the podcast stream itself, the email address crashed with too many emails, and they weren't able to do that. So it just basically ended up, just making sure that they got the whole story out there, smoothing it over. Punk did not accept Vince McMahon's apology. Basically, he said if Vince McMahon wanted to apologize, he would call him on the phone and talk to him. I liked the talk about basically him trying to get a day off, and he was basically, I think he said that he'd asked for it 8 months beforehand, even though it was a pay-per-view date. He wanted to make sure he made his friend's wedding. A pretty good story of him, making sure that his match went on first, AJ's went on second, and they were able to hop on a plane, and from there they flew from Dallas to somewhere in California, and they ran in at the wedding. And when I told that story to my wife, she called him a jerk for basically trying to steal that, basically running into the wedding as they were trying to leave. I don't know. I guess that's just women for you. Everybody's supposed to remember the bride and groom leaving, and more than likely everybody's going to remember CM Punk running in to his friend's wedding at the last minute. But I guess that's a difference between men and women and what they think about weddings and everything like that. But it's a good interview. This one's an hour. I definitely say you guys should go over there and check this out. I know that news sites will put up 1,000 things about things that were in there. The story about how guys kept on coming up to CM Punk, telling him make sure you put over Roman Reigns strong when he was going to beat him at TLC 2013. He was going to beat all 3 members of the Shield in a 3-on-1 match. To me, I can remember the Survivor Series when Bryan and Punk teamed up, but I don't even think I saw TLC last year. I have no memories of watching that. I think I saw the ladder match between Orton and Cena, but I don't think I saw anything else. I know that I'm halfway through watching 2011 TLC, so I can put up a review on that one. I don't know why I wanted to watch that one if it was for Triple H and Nash, which I watched, and it was a pretty fun match. And I still have the Del Rio, Punk, and Miz match in the main event. I remember people saying that was a really good match as well. So I have to go over and check that show out soon. But like I said, go over and check out the Punk interview. Good shit. And get down with it. He's hypes up his shirts over there on Pro Wrestling Tees. If you want one, go get one. He won't take the motherfucker off of there. I didn't tweet it, but I was thinking the same thing that the guy asked when taking the motherfucker part off. I was with Cabana. I think he definitely would sell more shirts if he took that off, but it is what it is. Maybe over time they'll take it off, but as of right now they're going to keep it. The other one with the I don't know, I call it Stars and Bars, but I think the Stars and Bars is more like the rebel flag from down south that Leonard Skinner uses. But the one with the stars on it, Pro Wrestling Tees tweeted out that was the biggest selling shirt in Pro Wrestling Tees history. In one day of being on the site, crashed all the records of everybody else that's ever had shirts there. So we'll check that out, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace out, everybody.